Yeah.
Check this brother out on reparations.
Be careful drinking that. That's called liquid death now. You should.
It's water.
Look at the can.
It's water.
Just want to make sure.
I actually think that's...
You don't want to get my brother nothing. Just get you some regular water, man.
There's no water.
The CIA... Is the CIA in here?
No, I think that's Wiz Khalifa's water. Actually, I think he said.
Oh, okay.
Wiz Khalifa from PA, so that might be okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna be careful because I know when Brother Malcolm went to the Middle East, they poisoned his drink.
I think
Malcolm had to get pumped. They tried to kill Malcolm in the Middle East.
Johnny, we ain't trying to kill you. We ain't trying to kill you.
I know y'all not.
Okay,
but I don't know who else around here. Okay, Johnny Cochran was poisoned, and you know Johnny Cochran was murdered because Johnny Cochran was on the verge of finding out, or he was going to determine how much reparations America owes African people. Right after that, Johnny Cochran ends up dead. Patrice Lumumba in the Congo, first democratically elected prime minister of the Congo, they poisoned his daughter in trying to poison him. The CIA threw the toothpaste. So we got to be clear that there's a history. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, a leader of the New Black Panther Party, he may have also been poisoned. So we got to be careful about what we eat and what we drink, especially me.
So what do you think about the study of H.R. 40? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, that study is
the reparations bill.
Yeah, it's the reparations bill that's supposed to see and determine, you know, who gets reparations and how much reparations.
Well, let's take it a step further. The state of California legislature just approved in the past few days a bill that will give each African American in the state of California $233,000 as a reparations payment.
I think that's some bullshit. I think Gavin Newsom is just doing that because reparations is going to be the buzzword for 2024 to get black people energized.
It is, and it's also a trap. Now, first of all, the reparations movement comes out of the Pan-Africanist movement. We gave birth to reparations. It's not anything new. That's our thing, although it's for the whole people. A cash payout for reparations is a trap. And the reason a cash payout for reparations is a trap is because so much of what needs to be fixed in American society for African people will take more than cash to do it. In other words, I give DJ Envy $233,000. Or if I take the Bob Johnson plan, he said each American African is due $350,000, right? I give you $350,000. Does that stop mass incarceration?
Nope.
Does that stop miseducation? Does that stop gentrification? Does that stop police genocide? Does that guarantee us access to wealth? I mean, in the state of California, what can you get with $233,000? I'm not even sure if that's enough for a house. And on top of that, the minute they give you the payment, they can reduce the value of the payment through inflation. So I can flood the economy with money so the 233 is only worth 120 in about 24 hours. And then guess what they're going to do after they give the reparations to African people? They're going to find subsidy programs to give to the LGBTQ, to the women, to immigrants, to other people. So at the end of the day, what looked like a step up for black people would be a step back. If I was in charge of the reparations conversation, number one, control of all black music must only be done through the black community. No non-African can control our music. Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Biggie, Tupac, if the publishing, if the marketing, if the promotion, if the recording is not controlled by black people, that has to change. We own our own music. Nobody can own, sell, produce, publish, promote black music but black people.
Why is that so important?
Because music is one of America's leading export industries. America makes more money off black music than almost anything else that she sells. So if we control the music, we have a steady stream of global revenue where we can build a black Wall Street in every single city in America for black people. That's how much money will be coming in from black music. That's one. Two, all black inventions return to us permanently. Everything we invented is a permanent patent for Africans. And if you want to use it, you must pay us a percentage. The cell phone, we invented that. Internet, that's ours. Helicopter, that's ours. Self-lubricating engine, the microphone, the stop sign, the walkie-talkie. Why are those lights on right now? Because a black man named Lewis Latimer wrote a textbook that taught China, the UK, Canada, and America how to light up a whole city at night. Without Lewis Latimer, you don't get street lights at night. You don't get constant illumination anywhere in the world. So guess what? Anybody running lights, you paying black people. Take back ownership of our music. Take back ownership of our inventions. Next on the list is all the confiscated lands. We had hundreds of thousands of acres of land stolen from us between 1865 and Malcolm's assassination in 1965. We need to put together a research team that's going to investigate all the land that was stolen from African people and return it back. Since most of our people are dealing with homelessness, we have the highest homelessness rate in Black America since the 60s. If we can get our land back, that will go a long way to getting a lot of our single mothers and their children off the street. Right. In addition to that, America has about 10 major exports: gold, oil, water, electricity. We get a 25% cut permanently. This is perpetual. Every time America makes a dollar, we get 25 cents of that dollar as part of the reparations payment. American Africans, 60% of us make up 10 states. All 10 of the states that represent 60% of us are seaboarding states. We should automatically control the port so we know what's coming in, what's going out, and we also get a percentage of that. But here's my biggest issue with reparations 3. One, psychological damages. I'm not hearing enough of the reparations talking heads discuss enough about the psychological damages. You know you can get far more from what you're owed psychologically than you can ever get for 243 years of unpaid labor on the plantation. The psychological damage is what affects us the most. Every time you see a black man with a white woman, that's psychological damage. Every time you see a black woman with a blonde wig on her head, that's psychological damage. Every time you see a little black boy or girl playing with a white doll instead of a black doll, that's psychological damage. When you see a black man take the life of another black man, that's psychological damage. America owes us more for the psychological Holocaust than she can ever owe for the labor. So we need to talk more about that. In addition to that, I don't hear nobody talking about the role the Arabs played in the transatlantic slave trade. I don't hear anybody talking about the role that the European Jews played in the slave trade. I don't hear nobody talk about the role that the Catholic Church played in the slave trade. If we're going to talk about reparations, bring every group that was responsible, those who financed the slave ships.
That'd be Nigerians too, though.
Okay, let's talk about that. There was participation from some African kingdoms. We know that Dahomey, for example, which was popularized in the Lion King movie. The Woman King movie. There was some African participation, but guess what? The transatlantic slave trade was a European operation. It was controlled. It grew. It was financed by Europeans. When many of the African nations found out what was really being done to us, because in Africa, there was no concept of chattel slavery. There was no such thing as owning people forever. There was no such thing as perpetual ownership of an entire family line or a bloodline. You understand? There was no such thing as being dehumanized. European slavery stripped African people of our humanity. There's no precedent for that in the world before European chattel slavery. They didn't know what they were getting into. They were wrong and can be held accountable. But let's not take the onus off of the true power structure behind slavery, and that was the white man.
I didn't say Portuguese.
Oh, Portuguese was in it. The Dutch was in it. The Italians was in it. The Germans was in it. Who didn't have a hand either in slavery outright or colonization that came after it? And when you factor in colonization with slavery, you can't possibly blame an African nation for that because they suffered during colonization as much as we did in slavery. So I reject any proposal that wants to make African people more liable for slavery than the white people who owned, controlled, expanded, and benefited.
Oh, I agree
from
with
it.
that. Yeah, they're definitely not more liable. It's just like you said, everybody.
Nor are they equally liable.
Are equally. Everybody needs to be at the table.
Absolutely, but Africa don't owe us reparations. They owe us as a people internal reparations, just like we owe ourselves as a people internal reparations. Here's what I want to say. We are entitled to reparations. We will get it. But let us be clear something. Money isn't going to fix many of the problems that we have. Money isn't going to stop the back and forth accusations and tearing down that's going on all over the internet between black men and black women. Money not going to stop that. Money ain't going to make the black man love the white woman anymore. You understand me? Money is not going to remove the self-hatred complex that so many African people have within us. There's so much that we have to do on our own that money cannot buy. So anybody who thinks that money is going to reverse the psychological Holocaust is insane. It has its place, but it is not a panacea for all of our problems. And I am of the opinion that if you don't change the way we think before we get reparations, if you don't build an infrastructure for African people before we get reparations, you change nothing else about African people.
Now, Harold, you know that I've been saying basically that exact same thing about how he feel reparations is constructed right now. I've been saying that for years.
Oh yeah.
I've been saying that ever since I've heard about reparations. I've been saying that for years. Now, I've heard he got a little pushback for that now. You know what I mean? Big Brother Phil, or the good brother Phil that's at the advice show, spoke to it. Not heavy, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, he said something about it. But I feel that exact same way about reparations. Now, his form of reparations, I think, man, is so far out there that you couldn't see it with a damn telescope, but not anything.
It was deep. His form was deep.
But if we had a code of conduct, you understand what I'm talking about? And if we wouldn't sell out so easy, especially when he was talking about the music.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Yeah.
If we wouldn't sell out so easy, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, we could have control of
That's
that.
true. Already,
all of this stuff about getting all of the patents back and all that stuff. Man, no.
That's a reach. That's a reach, like you said. That's
way. I'm talking about, man. That's way.
That's something you're gonna have to spill blood over. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother
absolutely.
That's a whole nother
So you got anything on that, good brother?
Oh, that one. I love the idea about music. I don't think that one is that far. And it makes sense how he put it as far as the revenue our music makes other people, and that revenue could be coming to us. I never liked when Jay-Z sold Tidal, man. I was highly disappointed when he sold Tidal. The fact that you would be able to control music how you would be able over the airways, and you just got rid of that. I think that was that wasn't a good shot for his legacy for me. But I agree with Umar on some of that stuff. It can't be just money. It needs to be a structure that helps us. Like every other nationality is getting help with funding, whether it's school, whether it's coming in first business owner, things of that nature. That stuff will help us build an infrastructure, not just giving somebody $200,000-$300,000. Man, that ain't shit, man.
I think that we have to clean up
us
first.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ready as a group to receive what we're asking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without cleaning up what's going on first. Yeah. You know what I mean? When broken homes,
mentality,
just period. You know what I mean? You can go on and on and on and on and on. We're just not in a position to receive what we're asking for. Down the line, you know what I'm saying? Yes. But in a monetary form right now, I just don't agree with it.
No.
Like I say, I'm not trying to throw stones at anybody who's out there trying to fight that fight, but collectively, we don't even know what we want. We don't even know $1. Only thing we know we want is a check. That's it.
We ain't in agreement on it at all.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're asking for something, and it's a lot of confusion even when you're talking about it. But hey, look here, no reparations, no vote, when there's other issues that's out there.
It's bigger issues we can get some paperwork on, man. Other than that.
And we can't all look at something in a written form about what we can get behind.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about, I think it's HR 40 out there in California. They're talking about, paying the people out there in California, but you're talking about HR 40. You're not talking about just reparations, this broad term. You know what I mean? So now if you're talking about something for everybody, let us get behind something. And
collectively, yes.
Let us collectively get behind something.
Yeah.
Then it'll be, everybody will be in agreement, and everybody see what's going on, and everybody see, and we can fight the same fight.
We try to jump so quick into this political game and this fight, and we need to organize. Get organized first, man. You saying, okay, we got our ideal on our political game, but let's jump way up here. Start off with something small. We have all these issues, man. We have way too many issues. I think you say it all the time, man. They looking at the short game. What's gonna be right here? You ain't looking down the road, man.
Oh yeah. Like I say, this is your move, but you're not thinking about the move that they're gonna make on the back end. You get what I'm saying? So hey, look here. Like I say, not trying to throw stones at anybody that choose to fight any fight, because there's a lot of fights to fight.
It is. But we have to be smart about this fight. This fight could really hinder a lot of not just Black Americans, but many of us in America who are less fortunate, because let's say they give out those trillions of dollars in reparations, $300,000. So food stamp gone, housing gone, hood that's gone, affirmative action, anything which for is letting you just come in here and get a job. What if all that is gone? What if every other small benefit we already have is gone?
I mean, it's you know what I mean? It's definitely a possibility.
And that's on the board. That's on the board.
But that don't mean that you're scared. And I hate when people use that, man. You know, you scared to get this, you scared to get that. No, bro, let's just be smart.
Yeah.
Let's think this thing out. Let's not leave it all in the hands of one person. If we're gonna move as a collective and it's gonna affect us as a collective, let's make sure the collective know what's going on. That's all. You know what I mean? You know, it'd be great to have you know what I mean, a check. If we was in position to where a check would really benefit us,
be effective. It would not circulate in our community if we. See,
but you got so many. You got a bunch of individualism out there where say, "Well, it'll help me. I know what I'm gonna do with mine. I know what I'm gonna do with mine." But you know what I'm saying? All the people that squander theirs, where the hell with them? Wait a minute. Now, I thought
that ain't how it works.
I thought this was supposed to be about a collective, uplifting everybody.
About everybody, exactly.
You know, you even got brothers talking about, "Well, I take my money, I leave."
Leave the country.
Well, you visit, you might know somewhere that you may want to go.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That doesn't help what's here, though.
Yeah, it don't help what's here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you've traveled, you've seen things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people around here ain't left their state.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, with the reparations things, I agree with why he disagreed.
Yeah.
But that other stuff he talking about, man, that's just as far out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More of a reason why we have to get organized. Yeah. Again, we're not outnumbered, we're out organized.
Definitely.